Hey, hello there folks, it's me, RJB from RJBTV, and we got a couple of games between Brain and Only1 from the month of August, last month. These two players met and they had some pretty cool games against one another, so let's jump right on in and see how these games between these two players played out, because I'm kind of curious to see, because the games I've seen from Only1 up until now have all been very, very good. Very, very good. I'm very excited to see this guy go up against the GOAT of fastest map, Brain, here on the name Star SLN82. Then right next to him on also the Protoss, we have the player Only1. I mean, there's a lot more ones in there, but I'm gonna just assume the name is meant to be read as Only1. Protoss against Protoss. It doesn't get much more balanced than Protoss against Protoss. It is the ultimate test of skill, because you don't have any inherent advantages over your opponent that you could or would have if you were to play Protoss against Terran, or Terran against Zerg, or Protoss against Zerg. There are just several imbalances on fastest map that you do have to deal with in those scenarios where you have to play against the Protoss. We cannot deny that that is true. So this truly is usually the way to determine who of the two players reigns truly supreme amongst both players. Now, usually it's not a single game. Usually we get like a best of 5, a best of 7, a best of 9 of Protoss against Protoss to determine the ultimate master of the universe, so to speak. This time around, we start with a Protoss against Protoss, wondering what the next match is going to be. Is it going to be Protoss Protoss as well? I'm not sure. But we got more games than one lined up. So, we went for a faster gateway for Only1, but Brain, like both players, went for a pylon into a nexus, but then Only1 made his first gateway immediately at 150 minerals, whereas Brain actually delayed it to get a forge into a gateway so that he could get a very fast defensive cannon and then add on 2 more gateways, whereas Only1 went for a fast gateway, then 2 more gateways, a gas, and then a forge, which of course means that he's planning on getting his technology up much faster than Brain. But Brain is playing this a little bit more defensively, getting a slower gas and relying on that very first cannon to prevent any enemy zealots from hurting his probes. So both bold orders have their upsides and their downsides. The upside for Brain in this case is that he is safe from early harassment, but the downside is that his technology is delayed, which means that Only1 could actually get the jump on him with his much more advanced technology, because he has no forge. I earlier said he did have a forge, but I was wrong. It was a cyber core. Second gas finished up, Brain getting a second gas right about now. He's building a pylon, right? Oh, that's a cyber core actually. That's a cyber core. So here we see the advantage that Brain has from going for a forge, and the disadvantage Only1 has from not going for a forge, and that would be that his probes are exposed to harassment. But Only1 is controlling his own zealots quite well to keep Brain's zealots away. Brain took damage on one of those zealots. I think he lost only the shield, which slowly regenerates. But he went for Dragoons very quickly after those zealots, which means he is kind of delaying his super advanced technology to instead go for very fast Dragoons, and his Dragoons are out much faster than Brain's Dragoons, which now allows him to chase down those zealots. Now Brain is sending them to the top of the map, so that these Dragoons are at least very far out of position, but that they also have to keep on chasing these zealots in order to do damage. And now, because the Dragoons are very far out of position, he's going to use his own zealots and Dragoons to try and get the jump on Only1. It's all calculated. Notice how he keeps running those zealots in the top corner in circles to keep the Dragoons of Only1 occupied, but Only1 has his own Dragoons now entering the party, and a couple more Zealots are coming from the back as well. He's getting a Robotics and getting Singularity Charge, whereas Brain is going for a Citadel of Adun, a Robotics and level 1 attack. Now the fight at the moment looks to be going in favor of Only1. I mean, they do have equal numbers at the moment. We got more Zealots entering the middle of the map. They kind of have the same amount of units. One Dragoon for Only1 went down on the top side because he did have to fight against the Zealots, and I guess they were both microing back here in the middle or back at home, which did lead Dragoons to fight the Zealots. But this fight is going, this is going in favor of Only1. Great micro so far, but getting surrounded there by the Zealots from the bottom side as to micro his way out of there, not really succeeding, losing a lot more than he's killing. Actually, he's trying to at least... Oh, he managed to turn the fight around. For a moment there, I thought he was going to lose the fight, but he managed to snipe the Dragoons and then escape, which forced these Zealots from Brain to also, like, both players tried to escape at the same time. Let's put it like that. So Robo finished there for Brain. Shuttle finished. Reaver on the way. Support there on his side. Level 1 attack is about halfway done. He's on 5 gateways, going for 7. Only1 is on 5 gateways. Might go for 7 sometime soon, but he's first going to go for observers. He's in fact not yet going for a drop. He first wants to get observers onto the map. He's getting a Citadel of Adun as well. He's got 3 cannons in the back. One of them is warping in. Actually, 2 of them are warping in. That's another cannon. No, that cannon is over there. Supply counts are about even at the moment. Brain has 2 more probes, which... yeah, the 2 probes more or less account for the supply difference. Observers going to the high grounds. You can see that Only1 is playing this very defensively, even putting a probe and a Zealot on the high ground to get vision of incoming drops. Whereas the Zealot there from Brain, clearing out and detecting, checking the top side, getting vision there. He's going to use his shuttle to fly in over the top side. We have Dragoons there to snipe the shuttle on the bottom as well and in the front as well, so Dragoons are split up very evenly. We still have no attack or shoot upgrades or armor upgrades on the way there from Only1. He's really relying on what he has at the moment. Speed Zealot there from Brain coming in to try and distract from the shuttle drop. Goes in, pushes the Dragoons away. He cannot quite get in. He gets in range. He's going to maybe snipe the shuttle. He gets this shuttle kill, but the Reaver alone. Reaver is too far away to hit the probes. It hits a couple of probes on the gas, so he actually was close enough, but didn't hit the probes that he wanted to. Supply counts are now starting to lean in favor of Only1. Cannons in the back though are getting targeted, but he only kills one cannon, yeah. And we got more gateways on the way there from Only1. He's got 9, adding 2 more for 11. Brain is doing the exact same thing. He's got 8 at the moment, going for 10 in total. Reaver once there in the back, finished up, getting cannons there on the sides. Shuttle there from Only1 coming in over the right side, goes in deep. Dark Archon on the scene, but it should be Reaver. It's a Reaver, cannot stop it. Shoots the Scarab. Scarab is maybe doesn't explode. Second Scarab is on the way, gets blocked. It is trying to get him through. Gets no kills yet again. One more Scarab there coming in, gets no kills yet. Kills a lot of them. That Scarab took a long ass time, but eventually it managed to find its way through the probes to hit the targeted probe, because that's how those Scarabs work. They have to actually be able to pass through, because a Scarab counts as a unit. If it cannot pass through, it will not explode on the probe that you targeted. It has to actually physically connect. So yeah, he got Brain down to, I'd say, about 8 to 10 probes less, which is a small advantage, and a small advantage counts. Also, he had a lot of lost mining time, which once again also counts as an advantage gained. In Protoss against Protoss, it's all those little things that all compound into a big lead, slowly but surely snowballing towards a victory. Attack upgrade is still on 1. Attack upgrade number 2 is on the way. Shuttle there finishing up. Does he have a Reaver somewhere? Actually, he has 3 shuttles in the front already. Shuttle drop there with a Storm, with a Templar in there from Only1. On the top right, pylons there for vision to help him detect and prepare against the drops. Getting full coverage there on the side. Zealots from Only1. Actually, He wanted to go maybe attack the front, but decides against it. He might actually go to clear out these pylons on the side, but that could trap his Zealots here on the right side of the map. Goes into the front. Nope. Yep. Nope. Nip. What's he gonna do? Actually, the drops are coming in. One from the left. One from the left gets feedbacked. One from the right is dancing. It's outside of all cannon range. Starts to fly in. Unloads. Gets feedbacked. He tried to hide it underneath the shuttle. That's very, very smart. Tried to hide the High Templar so that Brain couldn't click on it, but Brain could still click on it. Very risky play, but it worked. Goes in with his own shuttle drop there over the top side there. Hits the storm. Kills a lot. Gets 30 kills. Now that is nasty. Now despite losing 30 probes, only one is still in the supply lead. But that might very soon change when he starts losing his army that he cannot afford to replace. But at the moment, he has a chance. He's got to go all in, and on top of going all in, land a shuttle drop to make sure that his army advantage stays an army advantage. He's gonna have to kill a lot of stuff. Observer moving to the front there to kill the Dark Templar. Dark Templar gonna get taken down very quickly. Shuttle there in the top side, ready to go in. We got Brain clearing out vision there on the high ground. Shuttle goes in. High Templar starts to storm, but misses the first storm, and another High Templar on the scene gets feedback just on time. Very, very nice move, very crisp, very risky as well, but that Dark Archon helping him out tremendously. Now the supply count is still in favor of only one. Another drop there coming in, but it might... Ooh, it stays alive by a little bit. Storms from Brain on the Dragoons. One more High Templar. Ooh, he gets the storm, but the storm kills only 10. It's not much, but it might just be enough. Might just be enough. Ooh, another storm, but that one's on the Nexus. Is there another storm in there? Supply count for Brain is dropping dangerously low. He's 50 behind. 50 behind on Only One. Only One has a bigger army. He's really done a great job of out-macroing Brain to quite an extensive degree. Another drop over the top side there coming in. Flies in. Does he have any feedbacks left? Oh, is he tricking him? It's an empty shuttle. It's an empty shell. He's tricking him. He's forcing him to move the probes because there could be something in there. And Brain actually loses the game because he got out-macroed. Something you almost never ever see happen in a game with Brain. Him getting out-macroed is extremely rare. It almost never ever happens. Ever. But Only One, with very strong and solid play, managed to not only outmaneuver Brain, but actually just straight up outplay Brain with, honestly, a really well-controlled Protoss against Protoss. He actually looked trickier than Brain. His control even looked better than Brain. And that is something that I have not yet seen, which leads me to believe that Only One might become... I don't want to say that he is. I'm just going to say that he might have the potential to become the next big, great thing on fastest map. Because we've already seen him play before, and those games looked really good. So now we're going to game number 2 between these two. Game number 2. Brain is going to be on the Terran, at the bottom corner right there on the green Terran, and then we will have his opponent, Only One, on the blue Protoss on the other side of the map. Score so far is 1 win. So let me just add the score at the top. Brain 0. Only One. 1 for Only One. If he's gonna get only 1 win, his name might actually be foretelling or foreshadowing a disastrous future for Only One. Is he gonna get 2, or is he gonna stay on only 1 win? There's only one way to find out. Only one way to find out. Let's speed up the early part a little bit. pylon there coming out from Only1. Barracks coming out there from Brain into a supply depot. Kind of standard stuff so far. Nothing really out of the ordinary. Nothing we haven't seen before. And this is going to be, of course, Barracks number 2, as is tradition. Korean Terran players love to go for Barracks, Supply Depot, Barracks. It's simply the best way to defend against early aggression from a Protoss, but also gives you the option to be aggressive early if the Protoss is right next to you, going for a Nexus Forge choke. Because then the choke, the cannons at the choke, might still be warping in when your Marines and your SV arrive at their choke point. Now, Brain is assuming that Only1 went for a choke, and yes, he did. But he scouted only the choke points. There's benefits and there's downsides to it. He actually skipped this one. Not too sure if that's a wise idea. He also skipped this. He's actually looking for the probe, I assume. He's looking for the probe. Where is your probe? So now he's assuming that he must be here in the top corner. And yeah, he finds Only1. Only1 went for a very... He didn't even get a forge. He went for a triple gateway. And there's a gas in the back. Now, I don't like this from Only1. Now, I've seen a build order like this work before. Like, I've seen this be successful. But quite often times, I see this very early Nexus into triple gateway fail. Because honestly, a Terran just has a lot of early firing power with an academy, with Stim, Medic, Firebat, Marine. I actually went for a bunker in the front. Didn't get a third barracks. Didn't get an academy either. He's going for double gas in the back, and a command center might go for a factory. He's waiting there in the front, trying to kill the probe to make sure that Only1 does not get into Brain's base. Brain wants to conceal as much information as he can. Whereas Only1 is still going to try to make something happen with the triple zealot, but the triple zealot are going to the bottom of the map. Or not. No, he's going to the bottom corner after all. Dragoons coming out there from Only1. The SV has seen everything. He's seen everything coming out. Everything has been uncovered and revealed. Robo in the front. Forge in the back. He's going to go for very late cannons. Zealots are waiting for the Dragoons. With a double factory, triple factory coming out there from Brain, he might actually lift up these two barracks and completely switch over into mech. I've seen this before. Double barracks is an opener to help him get the command center and stay secure, and then go straight into triple factory production. Although he's gonna, keep that Marine production going for at least a little while longer. Do we get an academy? No academy. Dragoons in the front, zealots in the front, zealots are... He actually just wanted to get the zealots into Brain's base to see what's up. One at the top might... Yeah, both of them are going to survive. Both of them are going to go all the way in. Dragoons are hitting the bunker in the front, but there's still some units in there. So the Dragoons pull back. Does not want to lose them. He confirms the information. Important information. Doesn't see the starport there though, but he sees that there's triple factory, which only means that of course these barracks are going to get lifted up towards the sides for vision on the high grounds. Academy now on the way for the scan upgrade, because you really do need a scan to see what the Protoss is up to. He went for a fourth gateway, support bay as well, double robot in the front, double gas in the back. Third nexus actually. Now he's getting the third nexus because he's all the way across the map. And when you're all the way across the map, usually your drops are going to be so delayed that the Terran is not going to have trouble defending against drops, because it just takes so long to fly all the way across the map into the Terran base. Also, in addition to that, he went for the Dragoons first. And going for the Dragoons first, and I think he got Singularity Charge as well, getting the Dragoons delayed the support bay and the Robos by 250 gas, roughly. To be exact, yeah, 225 gas. So it has been delayed. So he goes for the third nexus to try and play catch up on progressing as much as he can, as quickly as he can, to simply have a bigger army than Brain does. But it might be the wrong choice, because Brain, with a very fast triple factory, has an army now to push and attack with. And that is something that Only1 is not really going to like that much. Reaver's going to have to kill, he's going to have to kill the Marines. Oh, great push, great attacks. Reaver control is out of this world. And he shuts down the attack quite easily. Now, Brain has no more Marines, but he does have a Wraith, and the Wraith's going to try to take down the shuttle, but first he's got to find the shuttle, and the shuttle flies in. He misses the shuttle, hunts it down, finds it, unloads the Reavers. He's going to try to get at least one Reaver into the enemy base, but there's Vultures there that are going to take it down. He actually could kill a couple Vultures. Actually, the Scarab misses. Okay, he kills one, but the first Scarab did half damage on this Vulture. Now, a lot of Vultures are out there for Brain. Gonna put mines all over the middle to at least slow down a ground army, to force Only1 to get an observatory before moving out to attack across the map. To go in there on the side to take Vision away, but not doing it at the moment. Vision on the high ground. Well, Vision beyond the hills there. He's spreading his tentacles all across the map. Double Wraith on the top, triple Wraith on the top. Because this is the only spot he doesn't have covered with floating buildings. That's why he's keeping the Wraiths there, now flying them back to the bottom into his base. He's going to float something else there. Shuttle there on the top, waiting for its time to strike. He's going to go for a double drop, it appears. He's almost waiting for the second shuttle to be on the bottom before he goes in. The Wraiths once again going to the top side, going to the middle. The mines also provide vision, that's why he's placing mines all over the place here on the bottom side to extend the vision, to extend his tentacles, his drop detection warning system, so to speak. And these are going to clear out the mines before the observers arrive. He does have the observatory, but no observers yet. Templar's Archive coming in very late. He has pretty much no anti-drop at the moment. There's one cannon, 2 cannon, 3. There's almost no anti-drop, so a tank drop could absolutely destroy him. He did not, in fact, wait for the observer, though. There it is. The mines, luckily, though, not really killing a lot of his zealots. Gonna go in for a frontal attack. Does he have any tanks? There's 1 tank. A lot of Vultures, though. 2 tanks, in fact. 3 tanks. Tank number 3 comes in just on time. I don't think he's going to break through. Yeah, he turns around. Does not believe that he can break this. If he had something like a High Templar or a Reaver, he could definitely break this. But it looks like the shuttle got pulled back home or died. I think I missed the shuttle getting sniped by Wraiths. He's waiting in the front. He moves to the side there. He's got more tanks in the front. The longer this goes on, the stronger this front section becomes. But the backside is quite weak. He has 8 Wraiths to snipe shuttles. A couple more on the way. Relies on scanning in order to take down the shuttles. But there's no shuttles coming at all. It's just a large frontal attack that's going to try to leverage the fact that Brain made a lot of Vultures, a couple Goliaths, and delayed his tank production until a little bit later into the game. Because it means, oh no, he unsieges, resieges just on time. Only1's gonna try to break through. Can he do it? Flies in with shuttles. He's gonna unload on top of the tanks. Reaver shooting on the tanks. The Scarabs kill almost no tanks. That could have been much worse, but we still got more Dragoons coming in. A couple of settlers there on the chain mail as well. Coming in, running in, but not really achieving too much. If only the Reavers killed a couple more tanks, that could have been a game-ending attack. So Only1's attack wasn't bad. The Scarabs, though, were bad. The Scarabs were bad. I cannot deny. That could be because he didn't specifically manually target with the Reavers. Maybe he just let them do their thing. Not sure, but he was close. He was close to breaking in. He was close to breaking in. So scans once again coming out there from Brain to see where the shuttles are. Scans the front, scans the back, scans the side. Actually, no shuttles to be seen, just a big army from Only1 with the level 1 armor, level 1 attack, and 0 shield. Whereas Brain is currently moving out with his tanks on 1-1. He's got the same level upgrades as Only1 does. First, a couple miles in the middle, Dragoons and Observers moving out to clean out the middle, to at least make the middle a fair battleground for him to engage on. Tanks sieged up on the bottom there, runs in, Zealots in the front, Mines in the front, Mines exploding, takes out a lot of those units, but the Zealots are getting on top of the tanks, getting surrounded the tanks. Is he gonna kill this? I don't know, I don't think so. I think the tanks will win this fight. The Zealots didn't kill enough, which means the tanks win the fight. And now that we have 10 factories there from Brain, which is actually quite a good number, he's gonna try to just keep up the production and keep pushing across the map. But first Mines, he's gotta wait for some reinforcements. We've got the Wraiths in the sky hunting for shuttles. He finds a shuttle there on the top corner. So he's gonna take it down there with the Wraiths. And while that's happening, we got more observers leaving the base. We actually have quite a low number of gateways from Only1. It's 8-5. Shuttle there on the top side goes down. Attack is becoming with the Zealots, but the Zealots are going to die to the Mines, which means the tanks are all the more stronger than they should be. You need something like shuttles. You need shuttles to unload Zealots or High Templars on the tanks, on the high grounds. You need Storms and Zealots. And for those two things, you need shuttles. And he needs a big army. He's building gateways on the middle there, but he might not have enough time to build gateways on the middle. He might not have enough time. Also, we've got carriers on the way, which Brain knows because Brain has been scanning quite often. Fleet beacon there on the side. We've got upgrades coming in. Does he have any air upgrades there, though? I cannot see any air units, so I can't really say. 1 armor on the air, no attack. The rates are on 0-0-0 because he does not... Yeah, he does have 4 armories. Tanks are very soon going to be on 2-2, already on the 1-2. Courser comes in, ignores it with the raids. A lot of the goons are on the middle, tanks are spread out. He's slowly being pulled into the tanks, goes for the attack, tries to push, pulls back. Pulls back, he needs more units, he needs the carriers to be arriving on the scene. But they're gonna take a while. He's trying to buy as much time as he can with this here on the middle. He's gotta buy time for the carriers. But the problem for the carriers is gonna be the raids. Does he have enough observers to detect the raids? Kills 1 observer there on the middle. Zealots are coming into the middle there to fight the tanks. The tanks and the vultures are in great numbers. Upgrades are on 1-1-1 there for the ground. The level 2-2-2 is almost there. Level 2 attack and armor finished up a little bit too late. Level 2 armor and attack finished up after the fight. I don't think it would have made a big difference, but he could have killed like maybe 5 more tanks, which could, you know, change the tide of the fight. Who knows? Who knows? He calls GG. He doesn't believe in it. Very odd game. I think going for the carriers was a mistake. Because he had a lot of supplies sitting in carriers. 6 carriers. Each carrier is 6 or 7 supply, I believe. So yeah, that's a large chunk of his army is just busy being built. Large part is just busy being built in the gateways, which reduced his fighting army size by so much that he could in fact not fight against Brain's entire army that's right here on the middle. This is just too much for him to handle with the very small army of Dragoon Zealots. If he had High Templars mixed in, maybe he could slow this down or reduce the tank count by just enough to really make a difference. But without the High Templars, without the additional army, there's just not much he can do. We must not forget, however, that drop on the front almost did the trick. Just want to go back one more time and see the fight, because I think this fight was much closer than the numbers after the fight would imply. And all it takes sometimes is a couple of good scarab hits, or perhaps a couple bad scarab hits. But I think the engage from Only1 was in fact not a bad one. I just think that he followed it up with the wrong choice. I think he had to go much heavier into gateways with shuttles and high Templars, then going for the carriers, because the carriers also had no upgrades. So he runs in, he scans, and sieges up just on time. The Reavers come in at actually the right timing. Now notice how the Zealots in the back here, the Zealots in the back are being blocked by the Dragoons. So that is a mistake from Only1. Should have had the Zealots go in a little bit first to take shots from the tanks and getting close and maybe get on top of the tanks, and have the Dragoons coming in, dealing damage as the Zealots are getting on top of the tanks. Right here. I think these two killed almost nothing at all. Like, he shoots a Scarab, and the Scarabs do explode, but I think he hits... One of the Scarabs actually hits the turret, and the other one kills this low HP tank. And this one stays alive, I think. Yeah. So we killed a turret and a tank with the two Reavers. Now the Zealots actually do a little bit of damage because this tank is shooting on his own tanks, and that does result in another tank going down. But really it wasn't that much damage. And the Zealots coming in so very late from being blocked by the Dragoons turned this fight that could have won the game for Only1 into a fight where he lost more than he killed. Because if just like 3 or 4 more tanks died in an engage, these Dragoons would be mopping up the floor. Because the Vultures and only 2 or 3 tanks fighting against this would have been a GG. It would have been a game over for Brain. So this game was actually much closer than it appears. This fight could have really gone in both directions depending on the Scarabs. And this time the Scarabs, sadly, didn't do jack shit. I'm RGB and I'm tuning out. The score is 1-1. And that's all I got for today. There's no more games between these two. They only played 2 games. I don't have a third one. Sadly. Hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye.